button, go live, and we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Montana Ricky. What's up, dude?
What's going on?
I
How
don't
are
know.
you?
What? How am
How
I?
are you?
I'm
Yeah, I'm trying to. The only way that I can look at comments, I feel like when you have other people that you're on with, you don't pay attention to comments enough.
I try to. It's just a little more. It's a little harder whenever I'm trying to like have a
Jesus
conversation
Christ,
on
you
track.
already got a $10. You already got a ten
Are you
dollar.
kidding me?
No.
Kier. You're crazy, Kier.
Yo,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Kier. What's up, Dick Footed?
Um,
Halsey, what's good? Tough Luck's in here. Jason.
Jeez. Okay. Tough luck's in here, so we'll flash the TLB.
Hell yeah. Eddie Vera's in here. We got Munduk. We
The
got one bike
TLB.
shop in here.
You asked me how I'm doing. I'm feeling almost good from that insane 13-hour drive back from nowhere after an insane weekend.
Driving nowhere.
Yeah. Did you see the shirt that Tough Luck made?
I didn't. Is that toilet paper?
No, I'll show you.
That's
It's fine.
shirt.
I hope you'll be able to see it.
What's up, Jacob?
Sean Garrison, JDA, Ken Nichols. Look at this shirt. Oh, you'll be able to read it, but it's going nowhere fast. How you always say nowhere fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm finally not feeling dehydrated, and dude, it's freaking. Whew. How you doing?
Keeping BMX alive. Working in the industry, trying to keep things alive. You know how it goes.
Yep, absolutely.
Bringing dreams to kids without kids knowing I'm bringing their dreams.
That's funny.
Holy shit, my teeth look white as hell on here, but they're yellow as fuck in real life.
We got Jacob in here. Is that the real Dick Footed?
Yep.
Man. Ordered a BMX all over shirt today.
Have
Thank
you ever rode with Dick Footed?
Nope.
Holy shit. That kid.
Really good?
That kid. He has goofy tricks on lock, but he can do really good tricks. But he just does nose willies now. But like he's one of those dudes that just has a shitload of weirdness. Why, did somebody donate again?
Sean Garrison, thank you.
Oh, dude, my shit's frozen. What's going on here?
Couldn't tell you.
Damn.
Thank you. What up, Mode Flip? I met Mode Flip at Cornhucket, and I told him to comment more, and he did.
That's awesome. Yo, what's up, Kevin Jackson?
You clown, Kevin Jackson. What was I gonna say? What?
Sean's on my side, bro. That was towards me. You better send me some fucking candy. Oh, hold on. What we advertising?
Well, I already showed the
boys.
Tough Luck.
Make sure you guys hit up Tough Luck. Go on their Instagram. I don't know how to put it here. It'll be here somewhere. Go to Tough Luck. Go buy some stuff. They got shirts and hats. Go to Dead Crow. Get some of that stuff. Support your local bike shops. This is Fat Tracks. This is a pretty dope ass shirt.
Brimstone Bicycles as well. I don't know how to hold this up. Oh, there we go. What's up, DFLJ? Somebody asked if I had too many brewskis.
So here's the real question. So when me and you do this, you have no problem checking out the comments. But when you have other people on there, are you trying to focus more on those people, or how does it work?
Yeah, I'm trying a little bit to give them the attention that I feel like they deserve. Okay. Because like when we do these, it's almost the part of the whole point is that we're interacting with everyone the entire time. But when I'm doing it with somebody else who's like new or hasn't been on one like that before, I don't want to spend the entire time reading everything that everyone says like we can here just because it's what we do here.
Right. Okay, I get it. Because I get people that text me and go, "Fuck, I asked a question and you never answered it," and I'm like, "Yeah."
I
was
try.
like, I think Brant's blind when I'm not on there with him, but when me and him, but I guess me and you, this is a group discussion with just me and you being able to talk, but they can listen.
Right.
Yo, what's up, Travis?
Travis in here.
JD8, yeah, get me a hat. Get any of us a hat.
I need
Give
a
me stickers.
sticker pack. Oh man, I need to design some stickers.
You do.
Probably should, you know.
Put my face on it. It'll
What?
be good.
Do what?
I said get a sticker. Get a sticker with me and you. Just like hugging, like just, putting our arms around one another.
That would be funny. That should be a thing.
And it can go on people's helmets, and it'll just say shitheads.
What's up, Jeff
Yo,
Mead?
what's up, Geoff?
Gof. Geoffafa.
Jeff. Yeah. So, what did Scotty post?
Well, the Vans did a video. Like, I don't know specifically what it is because I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I think it's like a video about him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Don't fully know yet.
Your green screen's falling.
Oh, they can't see that. So it's just...
Oh, they can't see that?
No.
So when they look on here, what is the green screen? Oh, the green screen is me in the background.
Yeah. Here's a good topic to start, and I talked to Ricky about it. Yep, we're just gonna not talk about that because it makes me too furious to even talk about.
So
to even think about.
No, hold on. Let me address something. What I take from that video is I'll take two things. Number one, working in the industry and then knowing how it is. And then number two is a customer. So I think the one thing that I would like to address is bike companies and customer relationships and how customers react towards companies and how companies react towards customers. Now, back in the day, people used to email and say, like, "Dear Merritt, hi, I would like to blah, 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 blah. I was interested in this. Is there anything for this?" Right? Nowadays, because social media is so quick, everybody likes to DM. The thing that I think is so tough is, I guess, experience for me working at Merritt. We're a skeleton crew.
Yeah.
At sometimes there's just one or two people working. I don't have enough time. I have 7 accounts. I don't have enough time to look. So the next time that you guys are trying to contact companies or you want to have a conversation, try emailing them, because DMing them, it's hard for them to answer everything. Like,
absolutely. And
sometimes
the company is just one like person.
That. Yeah, 100%. And I just think people need to realize that and not think so much like, I'm the customer, I need the attention, I paid this money.
I'm getting very close to saying things that might get me in trouble on the internet if I get into it.
But I'm not trying to do that. What I'm trying to say is, speaking for myself in the company that I work at, I could open my emails right now, and sometimes I have 300 unopened emails. Do you know how hard it is to catch up to that?
Oh, absolutely.
But my DMs are worse. So Merritt BMX has 245,000 followers. The DMs are ridiculous.
Oh, I can't even imagine what that's like.
No, I mean, like, so if you try to DM somebody and they give you one-word answers, but they still answered you, sometimes instead of getting upset about it, you can feel a little bit like, okay, well, at least they answered, and then sometimes they'll come back and just give you an email. It's not that they don't want to talk to you, it's just that they're the only person working. So that's the best that they can do.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Uh, but other than that, Jason Taylor, like I don't mind when we were talking about it in private in DMs, and I gave you my honest answer, which is the same thing I'm saying now, just not talking about what video you're saying. I just don't like to address some of those things because I feel like anybody that does something and it is that politically not correct or some anything that I feel I don't I guess I don't even want to get on the topic because it just turns into I work in the industry. So therefore I don't want to do anything that has to do with talking shit, bad mouthing, saying things that just because maybe I feel a certain way, but
I'm
I'm not
gonna
going to publicly, you know?
I'm gonna make it clear as well. I'm not. I'm on the side of the company in this one. I don't want anyone to think from what I'm saying that I'm holding back for the other party's sake.
Right. But I have nothing against that party. And I feel like sometimes there's another thing that's never discussed, and there's the actual industry, there's the sponsored rider, there's the bike shop, there's the friends to the industry, and then there's just the regular people.
Mm-hmm.
All these channels, even the sponsored rider, honestly has no clue what's going on in the industry. They're blinded by the fact that what's there. So,
Well, hold on. Before you keep going there too, part of why they're blinded is because so many companies like don't put out like they don't want them to know. You know what I mean?
well,
Like,
the other thing, though, let's just say this isn't a negative. It's a business. The guys that are sponsored, just ride your bike and do that, right? They
yeah,
don't need to know like, hey, we have 252 seat posts in today. Somebody wants 15 today. Like, none of that stuff matters to them.
yeah,
But at the end of the day, they just ride a bike and they might know a little bit, but it's not enough to fill the gap where they think something should be done a certain way. And I feel like if you've been sponsored or you're a sponsored rider, sometimes the answers that you have are wrong and almost correct, but you're off by something. So, in the nicest way that I can say it, is dudes that are in the industry and work in the industry are going to have more knowledge of how things are going and have an idea of how things work. And it doesn't matter if because you're sponsored, you think you're closer. Yes, you are closer. You know more than these other guys, but you don't know it all. So
yeah,
I feel like you, for example, I tell you tons of things offline and you know certain things and we'll have a conversation and you'll be like, fuck, I know the answer to this, but I'm not going to say it. That's fine. But I'm saying that a majority of the guys that are sponsored, sometimes they feel like they have all the answers when they really don't, or they don't see it, or it's just not told. And I don't want anybody to ever think that like, oh, companies know so much things that like we're the government or we're fucking, some conspiracy when it's not.
right. And Kurt said not everyone needs to know. That's true, but there also could definitely be a lot more transparency within the BMX industry so that because you know a lot of shady stuff goes down and it goes down because of how secretive people get away with being. Obviously
Right.
it's like
And
that in
Kurt's
every
right by
industry.
saying not everybody needs to know, which is obviously. But what I'm saying though is, I feel like if you have discussions that are like this, and you take someone that's part of it, and then you take somebody else that has a channel, like you, I feel like there's that gray area where we can have an actual discussion about this and talk about it, and people can get a little bit of feel for how things are. Travis, uh,
I want to
you're
hear
trying to
this.
make me sell merit pegs while I'm
Sell
on
them right
here.
now. Sell them.
Sell
Sell them on
merit
the
pegs
merit
right here,
pegs.
right now.
Yep.
Uh, it's 4.75, which is, well, it used to be one of the longest pegs. Now people made five. Our plastic is a different type of plastic. So instead of cracking or breaking, it has a little metal seal inside, so if you grind it, it'll start to spin instead of actually cracking or breaking. Um, we have deals like if you go to a bike shop and you buy 4 pegs, you can get 4 sleeves for free. So if you call a bike shop and you want to get a deal like that, and if they don't offer that, tell them to get a hold of me and I can figure something out. Has to be a bike shop. And obviously, it's not online. I'm not selling that stuff direct. I only sell to bike shops. Who else do we have to answer?
Selling Mary Kay. Kurt, Kurt, I want to respond to what Kurt said. He said, "Do you know?" He said, "What other industry is transparent? Do you know the items behind the scenes at Toyota?" See, here's the problem with something like that is that BMX is so small and everyone, not everyone, people act so core and it's like, "Oh, BMX, man." And we're like, "Oh, we're against being against corporate companies and all this stuff." Well, then why do we want to be like them? That corporate nature of not saying anything and not being transparent is exactly how Toyota is because it's a big giant corporation and
Right, but
company.
he made it right. He did make a good point, though.
But at the same
And you,
time, it's an oxymoron trying to be both. We're like, oh, we're fighting the man, but we're gonna be like the man because we're gonna not be transparent in the exact same way that the man is.
right. Hold on. I saw the owner of Fletcher Bike Studios on here. Just had to make sure to get his hat on. Give him a little shout out. If you're in Houston, make sure to get a Fletcher's hat. um, yes, uh, here's the thing. If you grabbed a magazine from 2010 or 2002, the prices for frames are basically the same price or higher than they are now, but it costs more to make those. It
Right.
makes no sense. Just because we're in an industry that's for kids doesn't mean that the prices have to be based on kids. How much is penny candy right now? Fucking penny candy cost a quarter. It's not a penny anymore. How can
Yeah.
a fucking frame still be $330? A frame should be $700 to $800. I'm telling you right now, if you buy a White House frame, that thing should be $1,000. It should sell for $1,000, and kids should have no problem buying that because it's handcraft, handmade, U.S. made product. Even you get a Sunday, any frame, Colt, anything. Those frames should be like $600-700, and then BMX can make a little bit money and it can grow. Because let's be honest, kids realistically aren't always buying it. It's mainly the parents buying it.
Yeah.
But kids are in the habit of thinking that everything has to be cheap, and then therefore, if it's cheap, price wise, the product's cheap. Well, half this product is super expensive to make. I think prices have to raise. They just have
Well,
to.
there's gonna come a breaking point where it's just too expensive and the price is not changed enough to where they end up having to do something about it. People aren't going to be stoked, but that's where transparency comes in. When I say that BMX needs more transparency, I'm not saying that every single little detail should be put out there. Like, I'm not saying that things that genuinely shouldn't be talked about publicly should be. I'm saying that things like what you're talking about right now that nobody talks about and the reason why prices are kept so low because people are scared that no one's going to pay it, whatever the reason might be, like that is something that should be talked about. And companies, if they were transparent about it, and maybe if a bunch of them worked together to be like, look, we can't do this anymore. We have to raise our prices. And if they like explained to people why, I think more people than would understand than wouldn't. And
I used to.
Jason, hold on before we go further with that. Jason said, "So what about companies that give back with a team versus companies that have no team? Should there be a price difference? Having a team isn't about giving back. Having a team is about having a bunch of representatives that represent your brand and help you sell product. They're your advertising. They're not
Honestly,
giving
if you have a team and you're not paying your team, you're not a legitimate team, if
it.
you ask me.
It's an employee. You're hiring an employee to help promote your business. It's not you're and you could look at it in a sense of, well, you're helping give them like a way of life, but at the same time, it's they're an employee just like you're an employee for where you work, but instead of you selling bike parts by being a bike rider, you do whatever you do at work.
Well, at this rate, there's multiple companies that are making unsealed headsets, American bottom brackets with one-piece cranks, and those bikes are going for $420 to $450 now.
Yeah, it's
Because the race to the bottom is caught up. So, what I'm saying to you though is bikes are quality made doesn't mean they have to be dollar store prices. Like
yeah.
people buy Jordans for $300 and don't blink an eye. People buy a PlayStation for $900, don't blink an eye. You get a fucking Verde or a BSD and it costs you $40 and you're, oh, I can do a bunny hop tail whip. I should have got that for free. Get the fuck out of here. You know how much that cost? A 7-year-old kid overseas worked on that thing for 3 hours. We
Yeah.
we need to pay that kid. I'm just, at the end of the day, the prices, it just doesn't match. And how is a bike shop going to survive when
I
a
don't
one
well there
piece
how many
crank
bike
on a bike?
shops how many bike shops are out there uh fully being I mean there's only a few BMX dedicated bike shops out there and other bike
There's 12. There's 12 that only sell that,
so
and no big
other
bikes are.
other bicycle companies have already like raised their prices accordingly, and that's why certain like mountain bikes and other types of bikes are so insanely expensive because they've already gotten there. So like they're less being hurt by the BMX side, but there's no reason.
Well, that's why BMX can't grow. Let's be honest. The reason BMX can't grow is because we're not growing up and we're keeping it at dollar store prices. That there's no growth. How can you go 30 years, go to 19 fucking 98 and look up 99 of Van Homan, Schwinn, whatever the fuck that Van Homan was, and that thing was probably $320 then. And then you come now and you buy a frame now and they're like $320. Go buy a phone. Look at how much a phone cost back then, or how much was a PlayStation 1
Hey,
to now.
hold on. Kurt is
We're,
completely wrong in what he's saying. He said, but if the average customer knows the cost to make the item, they are going to expect it for that price. No one understands the time it takes to make these parts. That is where you're wrong. Because every single thing that you buy ever costs way less than what you're paying for it to make. Every single thing you go to Walmart, everything in Walmart has profit margins exactly the same way a BMX part does, but you don't think about that side of things. You don't go into the store and you're like, man, this this blender cost $10 to make. Why am I paying $100 for it? Like, it's just the way it works in manufacturing. There's not hundreds. There's insane amounts of steps to
I
make
think there's
things.
a miscommunication because Kurt's probably like three. Prices are not right now, and
No.
I'm just gonna publicly say this and don't give a fuck. It's guys that used to ride bikes that don't ride bikes anymore. They might still love bikes, but they're in their 50s and it's a job to them now. They're not riding every day. They're not out there. They don't know how things work. They don't know how technology. Back in the day when they rode, they had 45-2 sprockets with triple wall wheels. Like everything is complete. All the bike company owners, a majority of them don't ride anymore. And since they don't ride, they don't know how it works. And to be honest, it's a business. The prices need to rise. It's kids making bikes for kids, selling it at kids' prices, and it's never going to grow, and it's always going to stay here. That's why BMX is here, mountain bikes and everything else is here. It's huge. Like, look at scootering. I'm not into scootering, but they raise their prices and do everything, and it's growing. It's flourishing. It's bigger.
And
BMX has been the same shit.
and scootering is the exact same like level. Someone just said mountain bikes have legitimate technological advances though. scootering has the exact same level of technology as BMX. They use the exact same headset bearings, and
They're selling handlebars for $580. You know
it's
the bar
insane.
thing? Yeah. Um, I like the Rocky Pond Productions though, because he's definitely not agreeing, and I like people that obviously I'm not sitting here and saying we're. This is just open for discussion and something
Yeah,
completely
I
different.
think most people have no idea what actually goes into even just products that they're buying for everyday life. Like it costs it costs a lot of money to develop and make something. Then it also costs money to design the packaging for it, make the packaging, make the like it's an insane. We've gone through the pipeline to make things, and it's insane what.
Well, the other thing we're not even thinking about that's hurting the bike industry right now is fucking shipping.
Yeah.
Shipping, and then everybody 5 years ago that was giving everything away for free shipping, every kid thinks he needs a fucking discount code and he should get free shipping on everything that he buys.
Do
Do you know
they?
how expensive everything is?
Do kids
Like
actually
it's,
think that?
huh?
Do kids actually? I wouldn't know. Do people actually
I
feel
don't
like
fucking.
that?
You can make a poll right now. A majority of the kids think there should be a discount code or free shipping.
I have a good poll. Do you expect free shipping when you buy something? There we go.
Yo, what's up, Dead Crow?
It's an
Sorry for not
interesting
answering everything.
it's an interesting topic of conversation. I work in manufacturing, so
Oh,
I
hey,
understand a good
can
deal
we?
of it from a business end. And that's a good working in manufacturing will give you a good sense of that because it's literally insane. And then you think about every single step of this process has to have a person working who's making money per hour for that process. So like when you break it down, you get down to it. That's why a pro rider gets like $5 per frame when they have a signature frame. If a BMX frame cost what it should cost, guess who gets to make more money too? The rider.
Well, the company will make more money, and the bike shop will make more money. I swear to God, the formula has been wrong for the last 30 years, and I know that everybody gets mad. Everyone's saying no. Well, the other thing that we have on here too, though, it's kind of biased because everybody that we're doing this for are older. So
Yeah.
older guys can afford things and they know how to support.
At
Our
least.
group of people that are in this chat right now, there is, look, we got Adam French. Adam French owns his own bike shop. Adam French is the biggest voice for BMX and nobody even fucking knows who he is. He is the only guy standing up to the big man and talking to every company owner and calling them out for every fucking thing they do wrong. Even if I do something wrong, he calls my boss and tells him. He
Yeah.
is the biggest advocate for making things right in BMX. And we need more of those people because without bike shops, we won't survive. Kurt Rowell, wait, I pop him in.
Not yet.
All right, well, Kurt,
Oh my
we're going to get
god,
you
he
in there.
just
Hold on.
decided.
Oh,
Okay,
he's calling.
fine.
Just pop him in.
Why did I just push join? Hold on, I'll call him.
All right. Yo, what's up, Asher? Casey Joe.
Do. My freaking 15-year-old
Kent.
Skype.
Eddie.
Where the
Noah. Jeff.
HIJK? How sad is that?
If you're just joining in here, we're just talking about that little small pie we call BMX and the growth.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go.
What? Did he come in?
Hello?
Where is he at?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're getting there. I just gotta get
Can you
it.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Give me a second to get resituated. Can't see
Kurt.
you.
Hey, Kurt, when you come in, introduce everybody to who you are and what you've done. And
Yeah, give us your credentials. Why are you qualified to be in this conversation?
Like,
Hold on, let me see if I
literally.
put my headphones in. I can't hear you guys.
Oh,
Hold
he
on.
can't hear us. Oh, that's funny.
Give me two. I'm gonna run into someone on the road.
Damn, Eddie Cuella's in here. Wait, Kurt, are you not going to be able to put your camera on?
Hold on. Sorry, I'm driving.
Jeez,
Alright.
Kurt's being unsafe out
Hello?
here. It's still light where you are. I'm jealous.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go ride my bike too, maybe.
Yeah,
Kurt,
I'm
pull
jealous.
over real quick so that you can actually talk. Then you don't have to drive.
I'm driving to where I'm gonna go. I'm like 2 blocks away. I'm gonna pull over.
All right, well, just explain to everybody what you've done, how long you've been riding, what companies you've worked for, who you've rode for, what TM you were, and how many bike shops you've owned. Like
None.
Just you know what I'm saying.
I'm 39. I've rode a bike for probably 25 years. Not that my skills would show that. No, probably long. Yeah, probably, I don't know. More than 20 years. Whatever. I had a little break because I had a hip replacement. But I've worked at a bike shop. I've worked at a couple bike shops. I handle boat claims for an insurance company right now.
Ooh.
So I don't work in the industry at all. But I've helped with some stuff with some people, I guess. I don't know. I talked to some people.
Right.
I introduced a bike company to a young child named Mike Hoder when he was 14 years old. So that's my claim to fame.
Ooh.
He's the best.
Instant
he's the best bike rider in
credentials.
the world. He's the best bike rider in the world.
You've got more people than that just on there. Andrew Carpenter.
Vandal Bikes was good. Chris Martindale. But
Oh, God, I forgot about that. Anyway, okay, so what do you have to say?
I just think, I agree 100% that some things should probably be more transparent. I guess I don't know if I should look at the camera or not.
Doesn't matter.
But I think when it comes to material pricing, personally, or even the actual final cost of something, it's hard to translate to an average consumer. And that's not like a smart consumer, because I think there's a difference between smart consumers, people that support the sport and stuff, and then your average consumer, which most people's parents are average consumers if you're talking about buying things for children, I think. And if you're hey, this frame costs, let's use a round number, $300 to make, right? And then you're hey, but it costs $450 for you to buy. They're not going to understand why there's that markup. They don't understand why. I feel, after working in retail for a long time, they don't care if you make money. They don't want you to make money. They don't care. They just want their stuff for as cheap as they can get it. And most people don't appreciate the workmanship, the labor, the workmanship in it. They don't appreciate anything behind it besides a low price. That is my general.
Well, here's a
shitty outlook, so a bad outlook.
Well,
so I think is a general, the majority of people, they could give two craps. They just want it for cheaper, and they don't care that some dude has sat in his workshop for the last year and a half by himself working on American-made bikes in Helena, Montana. And that, they don't care. They just want it cheap. Yeah. So
there's no sacrifice. And then here's another fucking hypocritical thing. FBM goes out of business. Everybody starts tagging, oh, I love FBM. Oh, it's the greatest company in the world. Not one of them motherfuckers bought anything FBM. FBM wouldn't be out of business if they supported it and bought from it. But once it's gone, that's when they love it. So what I'm trying to say, instead of waiting till something dies or goes belly up, there's nothing wrong with the company making a little bit more money so it could pay the people, make good product, and bike shops can actually do something. BMX is fragile. It's fucking fragile. You know this, Kurt. We've been around long enough to see companies come and go.
We've been a part of stuff that's come and gone. But and maybe I'm taking what Bran said wrong, and I think there's also two sides of the coin. It's just in not to get political right now, but in the country, it's capitalism versus whatever the other side of that is, right? I'm not smart, but maybe some people don't, I don't know. I guess I don't know how to voice it, right? But I get some things should be more open, but should it be more open than someone on a video being hey, our prices are going up because materials went up? Or do people want to know oh, this set of tubes for this frame costs this amount of money, you know?
I think what you're hearing me say, things should be more transparent, and thinking that the second one is like what I'm saying. I'm just saying in general, like Moeller saying pricing is going up, so things are going to cost more money, or however he said what he did, is a perfect way to say like what I'm talking about, because
Yeah.
most companies are going to just raise their prices and not tell anyone or say anything about it. I'm saying exactly that. Like, if you give people some kind of understandable reasoning, doesn't mean it has to be like you're giving them every single little detail to the penny. Just something to help people understand that, like,
But also talk back to the consumer and them, like give more. And that also goes with, we've already talked about this a fucking million times, how actual BMX media doesn't actually give BMX news or do things that cover all BMX. It's just selective. I get it, you need to make money, but at the same time, at least try to help out everybody. You don't have to make money off of every fucking thing you do. It's not hard to put somebody's new product up and say, hey, Stolen just got this new tube and tire in, check it out. Doesn't matter what the brand is. Eastern Bikes has got this new 26-inch bike or a new 20. Yes, you might feel a certain way, but as a bike brand, to keep everything together, instead of looking at it like, oh, I'm just going to advertise this because they're paying me, you can advertise, and it's easy to do it without having to be paid. Like, stop trying to get something in the back end and start doing something by paying it forward. I guess maybe I'm passionate because I work in the industry and I see that I'm losing customers because prices are going up, and other companies don't know what it's like to work at a bike shop, don't understand it, and they're not even giving the margins. They're not. I don't even think they're thinking about themselves. They like it's things have to change, because if it doesn't change, it's not going to last long.
Is that just BMX catching up with the rest of the world, and every other industry has had to do the same thing of like quality versus like price? You know, I mean, where you can go buy like a crappy DVD player from Walmart for $20 and it breaks down in a month, or you could maybe buy like a nicer whatever DVD player, you know what I mean? Yeah, or whatever, you know, is that it's like BMX. I guess it's always been like that, but it's kind of finally catching up.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Just support what you like. Like, prime example for you, Kurt. You see 90 East, you see Bone Death, or somebody gets something, you're like, I'm going to support that. I'm going to buy one of those things. You support every bike company. You get every DVD that comes out. You get shirts. You get hats. You support everybody, which is great.
I like BMX. Like, I just like bikes. Like, I can't really ride them that well anymore, but I like them.
I think there's a lot of people who are like Kurt, though. We just don't see it, you know? I think there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of people in the chat right now, I guarantee, who support things that they like, and that's what they buy. But, like, because they're not on Instagram posting about it every single day for us to see it, we just don't see it, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, like, I guess I'm not the best thing, and, like, I'm not bragging, but I am lucky enough that my wife and I have good jobs, and I don't have kids. You know what I mean? We don't live in California or New York, you know, and I have a disposable income, and I mean, I waste a lot of it on on bike stuff, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm lucky in that fact that I've lived a life too where I didn't have any money and I had to ride whatever I could get.
Thanks, 20.
By whatever means, you know, either from, you know, beg, you know, borrow, or I mean, I never stole, I don't think, but you know, beg, borrow, you know what I mean? Right. So, you know, I just think not everyone has that, you know.
I'm not here to preach. I'm just letting you know that I'm trying to do my part by keeping BMX alive from the bike shop's perspective. So everything that I do is in favor for them. I love BMX. I love the guys that ride. I love the people that follow me. But at the end of the day, the people that feed me and the people that keep bike and BMX alive are bike shops. So if I don't give a voice or I don't speak up for them, I feel like I'm doing a disservice to BMX as a whole. And I feel like no one's ever gone over and beyond and actually said what needs to be said. And I feel like we just need to realize that we're not kids anymore, and things gotta raise, and there's nothing wrong with that. And if prices do raise, it's fine. Support the companies you want to support. Have I once said, go support Merit right now? I'm not saying that. I've said every other company other than that. You know why? Because I know who's going to support me and who wants to and who doesn't have to. I don't have to do cheap shots of saying the companies I work for. I don't have to say 90 East and Scapegoat and that stuff. I want to support everybody, man. I want McNeil. Fucking go get some McNeil. Go get,
Darcy doesn't own it anymore. Maybe not.
You get what I'm saying. What I mean though is BMX is fragile. We can't be sitting here trying to get penny candy. We need to be looking at $3 fucking Snicker bars. All right, that's where we need to be.
I think even just this, and like not to jerk everyone's crank that's in here or listening or whatever, but I think everyone just being involved in an open conversation, whether you agree or don't agree with it, is probably helping more, than things have had help in the past, right? Like,
I think that the biggest problem that there has been is that there hasn't been the open conversation like this, and that it's been taboo to talk about these things, because you're not going to find anyone other than Ricky within the industry publicly talking about these types of things, because you can't. And that's kind of why this YouTube channel is here somewhat.
Bad though either.
No, you're not. I'm just saying you're the only one doing it. Like,
that's because I have a passion. I fucking love it.
But I mean, everyone, certain people's circles, the conversations always happen, right? Like,
yeah,
I guess
those circles aren't the everyday people in BMX, because they're not like the everyday person who just rides, who just loves to go to the skate park, to whatever, and buys this stuff and then whatever. They aren't connected to this side of the conversation. So that those little circles, they might talk about these things, but that never reaches the people it needs to reach, who are the people who actually, like, you have a vote with your money when it comes to BMX. So if you don't know the things we're talking about, how are you going to know where to put your money? How do you know that company A is just getting catalog parts from China that don't mean anything versus company B, like White House or Nowhere or Medieval or whoever, who's like getting their stuff made locally wherever they do it? How do they know any of that stuff if nobody talks about it publicly?
Well, can't they just ask the company? That's what I used to do.
Well, when it comes to certain things, there's certain things you just can't know about, and then people are I don't mean to make anyone.
How many people care though? Do you think a lot of people care?
I think
we can find out.
The majority
right now care more than anything, because you were dying to get into this conversation.
Just because I haven't talked to either of you in a while. I've been busy at work. I've been busy all summer.
What's the question, Kurt? Do you care about what?
Do you think that the majority of people that ride bikes really care about this? I assume the people that are in here probably do.
What is this?
Do you think, like, I guess, like, the behind the scenes stuff? I don't know. I mean, do most people care where their stuff's made? Or do they, I don't know.
I'm going to ask that question.
Do you care where your stuff's made?
Me?
Yeah.
I care more about the end result than where it's made. Obviously, it would be better to have a Sunday Soundwave that is made in America supporting someone here. But at the same time, I'm not like, well, I guess I got to go get something else because this isn't made here. It's like, well, the technology in this frame and the way that it's held up for me has been good enough that I don't care that it's made somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't think it could be made in America right now.
It would be insanely expensive.
Can I say one thing about the Soundwave before we go on?
Yes, because you just bought one.
That is not a 5-inch head tube. That is a 4.7-inch head tube.
Did you measure it?
Yes. That is false advertising.
Wait, why? How come they can do that then?
I don't know. They must tell their girls that they got a big whatever, because that thing did not measure out to.
Well, how many companies actually have a 5-inch head tube? Is it the same for all of them?
Stranger maybe. Yeah. I got a BTM XL now. It says it's supposed to, but I think it's a short one too.
Interesting.
I know.
Should I
Not
make
to
a
like
video exposing the whole BMX industry for
no,
their short head tubes?
no. I just wouldn't have. I mean, I just thought it was funny.
The
But
BMX head tube industry doesn't measure
does
up.
anyone really care about that?
I don't know. I
I just,
mean, it's bigger.
I just like to run that flush stranger cap without my fork sticking up.
Yeah, it's just
Now
a
I have
funny thing. It's
now
bigger
I have
for
to do
sure.
this. Now I have to look like this. Don't I look like an idiot? Come on.
Why? What's wrong?
Because look at all those spacers and that head tube. Come on. Things should be flush.
Oh, whatever. I don't
We're in
care
the weeds
because
now.
gyro.
We're in the weeds. Oh, true. I
Can
don't
we
know
we
what
can add,
runs it.
that's actually something that should be talked about because BMX
What's that?
companies need to lower the gyro tab placement on BMX frames so that we have enough room for gyro travel. That's an issue, and I brought it up to somebody I know at Full Factory, and it was like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, we've never thought of that before, or I've never thought of that before." So that's one of those things I would hope would get changed.
I mean, yeah. I guess only a person that runs a gyro would know that. So I mean,
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty
And
big deal.
Bobby's
You
the
and-
best
you
bike
and Jeff
rider
Mead.
right now.
Yeah.
If we're talking about gyros and guys that run a gyro, Bobby's
Who?
the best.
Who?
Bobby Altizer.
Oh,
I'm shouting the fuck out of him. He's crazy good.
yes, he's amazing. I'm going to change the poll because Dead Crow has a very good. Do you shop for quality or price? I know the answer in this chat because.
Everybody's over 25 in this chat.
Yeah, but the thing about that I've learned is that there could be kids watching this that don't comment because they're not allowed. But then, I mean,
What do you mean? Any of those guys could. Those are the voices that we need to hear.
I'm talking
Everybody's
about
voice is
kids who
important.
are like 14 years old whose parents won't let them.
You have no fucking clue. I was the worst 14-year-old ever. Ask Kurt.
I'm just talking in general. There are kids who watch my YouTube channel who can't leave comments yet because they're not old enough and their parents won't let them.
No, I didn't.
They probably shouldn't be on the internet at all.
Yeah, get the hell off it. Go right.
I'm just saying, damn.
Is this? I mean, is this all because of someone's video about cranks? Is this kind of where everything started?
No, this isn't. It started
Oh.
because I feel like
If
BMX.
that comes up one more time, I'm gonna start saying
sorry.
things.
No,
I mean,
stop that.
parts-
But anyway,
Parts
this comes
break.
up.
Things break. Like, I mean, how many stuff in like outside BMX have you bought and it's broken? You know, I mean, unfortunately, like you could get hurt on a bike, but like, parts break. Shit. I mean, stuff happens. Like, in that manner, that's kind of crazy. But stuff. I mean, what do you expect? Like, look at what they are. Look at what that stuff is.
All right, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna get too bad, but what happened there? RNC doesn't have a team. They've just got people. He tests, it's one guy. He tests the stuff. He was testing press fit and it worked in his testing. So he sent them out. He made them. He sent them out to people. Mike Feedy was one of the people who got one of the press fit cranks.
He also paid for it though.
He did pay for it. There's nothing wrong with that. And then he did the 180, whatever happened. He moved, the cranks moved. The press fit failed because it was never going to work. Even though it worked in testing, it was never going to work practically for people riding BMX. And then everything that happened after that happened. Say things. Fine. That was the whole point of my YouTube channel, is to say things.
I guess, and I'm not taking it out on on the gentleman that made the video. I just think when people post broken stuff, like with what, especially if you're young and you're learning, like there's just a kid that, and maybe he's probably watching this, so I'll probably get beat up in the streets, but there's a kid local that broke an axle on a free coaster and tagged the company and the owner of it and was like all pissed off about it. But it's like, all you do is grinds. It's an axle. Things break. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
You're not, if you're just riding down the street and it broke, maybe that's one thing, but like you're banging your pegs onto hard stuff and things are gonna break, what do you expect to happen?
If
You
you
know what I
don't
mean?
if you don't want to break an axle, get a solid male axle and it'll last you a little longer. And you've got to expect something like that. So when it comes to this whole entire thing with this situation, you said parts break, it's to be expected, whatever. This is a crappy situation because he was trying something new. RNC was trying something new, and it got into the hands of somebody who got an answer about it. Literally got the resolution about it. And instead of making a video saying, I don't want people to experience the same problem I did, if you ordered these recently, check them out before you go ride. Instead of doing that and realizing that a solution had already been reached, because in that video, literally the first reply at the end of the video, the very end, is, I guess I have to go back to welding these cranks. Guess what? That's the problem is solved. And you're still going to go out there and tell people not to buy something, even though there's a solution there. I saw a lot of comments on that video about integrity. Integrity is not having a problem, getting in touch with the owner, finding out there's a solution, and then posting telling everyone not to buy something. Integrity is finding out there's a problem, getting a hold of the owner, finding out there's a solution, letting people know that the solution is there, and if you have this problem, to get in touch with them. Because the problem's solved at that point. You can't say, oh, I'm looking out for people because I'm making this video. No, you're not looking out for people. Because if you were looking out for people, you wouldn't go on a rampage telling no one to buy these cranks when you know the problem's solved. And I get that that part of the video was made and filmed before the end of it. But if you have integrity, you scrap the first part of the video and you reshoot it, letting people know that this problem is solved. Like, I don't care what anyone says. That's not integrity.
But how would you get the views if you didn't post the first video?
So that's the problem. You can't get views. And here's the thing. Because I know the response. The response is, well, the communication, all of that, and everything's tried to be justified by the communication. We'll just say it right now. RNC's communication isn't great, but clearly he knows that now. And Jason Taylor just said he falsely advertised solid bar titanium crank arms, no welds. No. Anyone who can read that, anyone who reads that way just can't read. Because literally it says crank arms machined from solid bar titanium, not crank arm spindle assembly.
But also, I mean, here's the thing too, and I don't know, this probably makes it worse, but you're buying from a small boutique company that may or may not, if you've been around long enough, hasn't always had the best stuff in the past either. You know, I mean, it's I don't know. It's one thing if you bought those from Profile, maybe, you know, a crank that's been made for 40 years.
Yeah.
Which we've all broke Profile cranks, right? Like, stuff happens, but it's just, I mean, I don't know.
Well, here's the
money.
I agree. So on warranties, the sickest part that we have is every kid wants his fucking attention. So every single day I get a kid that scratches a crank arm and goes, oh, these fucking crank arms suck. I have a scratch. I want brand new ones. And the same thing I say to the kid every single time, even if it's something not warranted, obviously, rip a grip, okay? That's a prime example. They'll tag me and go, Merit sucks. Fuck you, Montana Ricky. I don't want these. So then I tell the kid, I said, oh, what happened? What bike shop did you buy it from? Oh, I didn't buy it from a bike shop. My friend gave it to me. Or I got it online. I'm like, all right, well, if you got it online, you got it from a bike shop, just let me know. Talk to the bike shop, let them look at it, and we'll figure it out. Or take photos, send it to the email, and let us figure it out. I am actually really upset with how people want attention for things that they've done. Do you think Sean Burns, every time he fucking jumps off 7 skyscrapers and snaps 9 frames and 13 pieces, do you think he takes a photo and then puts it online and talk? No, he doesn't. No professionals. Most professionals don't do it, and the pros that have done it, hold on, and the pros that have done it are on a blacklist. And let me tell you, that fucking blacklist is long, and once you're on that thing from every company, you're done. Nobody gives a shit about you. So at the end of the day, I didn't even want to get into this. Not here to badmouth a person that makes a video that way. I'm here to just set it straight. I'm proud of every kid that breaks something. Doesn't matter, because you know what it tells me? That kid rode his bike and something happened.
Well, here's the hard part of this situation. First, I want to reply to Jason Taylor, who's obviously salty about this situation. He says, "I almost bought them. Thankfully, I didn't. If a flat 180 broke it, I would kill myself on a warm-up backflip." Here's the problem with everything that has happened with this video. If you had bought those cranks, you would not receive a press fit set of cranks. And this is where the problem with this video even existing is a thing in its form, because it's telling people not to buy something that is already fixed. If you would push order right now on a set of these cranks, you're not going to get a set of cranks that have the issue, because the issue was solved before the video even went out. There was a better way to handle this. And then what am I trying to get at here? I don't know where I'm going.
Well, and on the other end too, can I say one thing though?
Yeah, go ahead.
On the regular cranks he makes, Stephen Woodward has had those on his bike for over a year now, and if that dude hasn't broke them, hasn't damaged them, like obviously his other cranks are great. You know what I mean?
And there's the other misconception is that people seem to think that like there's all these different sets of cranks. They're all the same thing. He's just not making 3-piece cranks anymore. He's making 2-piece now. But I thought the ones
had the holes all the way through them.
There's no difference between those and any of the other cranks that he's making other than those holes through them.
Well, if Stephen Woodward can ride him for that long, and then what's that dude from Oregon, Evan Lane? I mean, those dudes ride their bikes pretty hard. I mean, yeah. But I mean, still though.
There's a lot of people out there. Yeah. Marcus Christopher rides them. Daniel Dares has them.
Andy Buckworth rides them.
Mike Varga had them on. Dares, like they're, and a good point there. 20 Grip just asked, how long have Bran's cranks lasted? They're on my bike right now and they're perfectly fine. Like,
oh, do you have some?
I have, yeah. I don't have the super light ones, but they're the same thing. Like the problem isn't lying in the fact that there's holes through the cranks, because that's not where there was an issue. It was in the junction between the crank arm and the spindle that was press fit, which was a bad design choice. And so a couple of them went out, and somebody who makes videos got a hold of them, and instead of like approaching it in a way of, well, the problem's solved, I had an issue. I don't want Mike to join this conversation because I don't care what he has to say anymore. I literally I'm being straight up honest. I don't care what he has to say anymore. When you attack a company like that and you gave them the chance to fix the problem and then they did, and then you still put out the video attacking that company, I have nothing left to say to you. Because imagine it this way. Ricky, you did something 10 years ago and it was a bad thing, and something bad resulted from it.
He did a lot of bad things.
Right. But we've all done bad things. And most of us who are good move from those and improve ourselves. Do we want something to exist forever as if we never moved on from that point? That's what cancel culture is all about, and that's why it's wrong.
Ric Flair just got canceled.
What?
Ric Flair just got canceled because of Dark Side of the Ring. It's pretty fucked up.
Thanks.
I mean, I guess to be devil's advocate, though, I can understand spending money and waiting a long ass time.
That's the problem. That is a problem. I'm not saying that's not.
And then, things
happen. So obviously this is a sore subject. Obviously I'm being very quiet because it's a fucking tiptoe thing for me. From my side, I'm proud of kids when they break something that is at our company. I'm going to be very fucking honest with you. I've never seen it, but there's a lot of items, and I'm not looking for someone to say, oh, like I did this. I'm just saying that, like, we take pride in the things that my bosses do. We don't release anything for a long time. Obviously, rubber, plastic is going to fucking break. Seats are going to rip. But I'm talking cranks. We have lifetime warranty on cranks. Our hubs are very good. Axles are going to break no matter what because kids peg bonk all day long. At the end of the day, I'm proud of kids for just riding bikes. If you have an issue or something breaks, do it in a professional way. Don't make a fucking dumb video and ruin your possible career, or be salty because you used to be sponsored and make something fucking dumb, or
Whoa.
don't be
Whoa.
fucking stupid and make things where
Whoa.
I gotta feel uncomfortable because you make a decision to make a video, then you want to talk this way, then Kurt says this. I don't care what he does. I was on both sides. I was on Mike's side for one thing, and the other guy for the communication. So I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about this with communication. For me, working as a one-man bandstand at Merit, I have so many things to do. It's impossible for me to reach all of it. I just want kids to know your voices are important. We get it. People break things. Yes, I'd be mad too if I was Mike, if I spent $500 and it broke, but I wouldn't have made the video. Either way, I want to get off this subject because it's pissed me the fuck off, because it's a tough thing to talk about. And then I have to tiptoe. Then I said something and you're woeing me. So I'm probably doing something shitty.
I was trying to avoid the subject entirely, but it kept getting brought up. The problem, the thing is, if I'm going to have a YouTube channel where I talk about things that don't get talked about, I can't pick and choose that way, because this isn't something that's going to hurt me to talk about it. And I can't be like, well, I don't want to talk about it. I have feelings about this. And like, there's a lot of people.
Mike's not an unreasonable guy either, I don't think.
See, he's not. But when I tried to be reasonable in his comments on here and say, look, this problem has been solved by keeping, like, with this video, you're not saving someone from buying a faulty set of cranks anymore. You're hurting a small business who's a one-man operation from sales of a product that's fixed now. Like, that's the ultimate point in this. And it's like, yes, the communication sucks. We all know that because we've heard of how many people who've had bad communication. Well, guess what? Now he clearly knows that the communication isn't good and can work on it. And you can also put on your website the wait time, an accurate wait time now. Like, at the time when I visited him in Florida, his wait time was like 1 to 2 weeks on the website, and he had been getting content or getting comments back, like, or people asking questions of where's my cranks, whatever. And I'm like, well, maybe you just add a longer wait time on there that's more accurate. Clearly the wait time has been going longer now. So all you got to do is update that, work on your communication a little bit, and that problem is solved. But fixing the cranks in that video staying on the internet just means that, like, you're screwed.
People are weird.
Well, the other thing that I have is this isn't a thing to batter or do anything. We're talking about industry. That's how these conversations go. And 95% of it, when I come on here, I just give a fuck about BMX and bike shops. So I always bring it up. No matter what, it's always going to be here. I don't want to have a conversation about one person making something that wasn't a smart choice and it makes us feel a certain way. I don't want to have the conversation. Have him come on. There's no need for that because it turns into drama. There's no drama.
Yeah, I don't want it either.
There's no drama, nothing at all. Like, I know people are saying, oh, you're mentioning. Yeah, because I'm mentioning it doesn't matter. Jesus was here. If Jesus is alive and he was here 5,000 years ago and we talk about Jesus, I ain't going to call Jesus and bring his fucking ass in here. What I'm saying, though, is it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, things break. Do the right thing. Email the company. Tell them what happened. And I'm telling you, every company wants to give you back or make things right or give you a better price on things.
And that's the thing, too, is that every single person who I've heard
most companies do. Sorry.
Yeah, most companies.
Yeah.
Every single person who I've heard has had an issue with this company has had it solved. So
there you go.
So, like, I don't want to talk about the video or anything else anymore. I don't want to have Mike on here because it's not necessary. And I feel like I'm over it at this point. I hope that it doesn't hurt RNC's business so much that like something comes of it. I really hope that doesn't happen. And if it does, then that's really unfortunate.
No matter what, we're talking about it, and there's press. Bad press, good press, it's there. At the end of the day, what we're actually having a conversation about is how to and how not to have problems or discussions with bike companies. Period. Like, don't fucking tag me and say Merit sucks dick because you fucking ran over a piece of glass and you got a fucking flat tire. There's no sense in doing that. You got a
I
flat
did
tire.
get a flat
Learn how to
tire
ride
on
your
an
fucking
option
bike.
tire the other day.
What?
I did get glass through my option tire the other day. I'll actually show. I can see the mark right here. I want a new tire.
That's your own fucking fault. Get your shit together. But what I'm saying though is you don't need to do that. And companies are always here to listen and try to help. And if those companies don't do it and they're not here to help, and I mean you gotta be civil. Don't be like, hey, you cocksucker, and then expect help. That company has every right to call you a cocksucker back. If you're civil and you do the things right, everything will be made square. And if they don't make it square, don't support the company. It's as simple as that. That's it. I don't want to talk about that video anymore because I'm obviously getting upset because it's just, there's so many things that are wrong about it. And it makes me go 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And I think of all the other dudes that have done the same thing. And they're so good at riding bikes and they have nothing anymore because they made a mistake. Maybe he felt a certain way, fine, whatever not. Sorry I got grandpa on all you guys because my hair is gray over here. Um, Build a new topic.
Can we really just talk about Team Weed getting shut down?
Old Grandpa Ricky got pissed.
Yeah, he's gonna throw up. We can talk about Ricky has this weird thing where he won't eat food that his fingers have touched. So like he'll go somewhere and eat a French fry, but where his finger touches, he'll set it down on the plate and not eat that part.
I don't want to talk about that. I feel bad.
Yo,
It's
you
like
know what's so funny? Is Mike Hoder would never bring money on trips when we go on trips, and he'd just eat the food I touched.
Talk about, you want to talk about the most professional bike rider? That guy after this weekend or last weekend, I think, or whatever, the weekend before the 11th, there was a jam in Polson, Montana, and every kid was so hyped to see him. Like actual kids were like, "Oh my God, Mike Hoder's at our local jam," and that guy took time to say hi to every one of them. You know, I mean, it's a little overwhelming for him. I don't think he's the most when he's riding, but like actually like talk to every one of them. Like they had a question, I mean, like just be like receptive to like the younger generation and then to thank people that had his parts on their bike. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a professional.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but that guy went from here all the way in a full circle and made it back to where we first met him when he was Fat Mike.
I mean, I just want to throw that out there because I love him, but
that's right. And there's a lot of people who are like that.
Wants help, we send them something.
There's a lot of awesome people like that.
The majority of people that ride BMX for a living or whatever seem to be like that.
Yeah.
Depending on the day, like everyone has bad days, everyone doesn't want to talk to people, but it was just kind of nice because, to make, I don't know, it made these little kids' days, like literally screaming like he was like Eddie Van Halen or something.
That's funny.
So.
That's good. I heard you guys didn't have speakers or anything, and it was quiet as fucking boring. That's what I heard.
It was so nice. It was so nice because Taylor wasn't allowed to say anything. It was so nice.
Really?
Yeah, it was the best Polson jam ever.
Yeah, you like quietness.
Some kid tried to steal my bike, so that was tight too.
Really?
So, yeah. Neon had to grab it from some dude. It moved from behind my car down like all the way across the parking lot, and these dudes were getting ready to leave, and Jason had to grab it out of some kid's hands.
Jesus Christ.
And I was like, tight, dude. So, BMX community, they're good. So I'm gonna go ride my bike.
Yeah, I don't want to hold you back.
Life is holding me back.
Hey, Kurt.
Well, you're there right now.
I didn't mean to bring up the mic thing. I or the guy thing, whoever said it, but I mean, sorry. So
it's okay.
Nothing. And conversations like this are needed. We can't have these ones where everyone agrees with us every single time. How can you have a podcast or a conversation and everyone's just like, yep, that's how it is. Oh, cool. No, fuck no. We got to say some things people don't agree with. Like, I got to have an argument with Bran at least once a day. So thanks. We had it.
Well, and I mean, God, they keep texting me. Yeah, I mean, open conversation. It is what it is. So we don't all have to get along. Or agree, I guess, right? We all get along. We don't have to agree. So.
Ooh, I want to go into that topic now. Kurt, go ride your bike.
I'll try. Bye-bye.
All right. Love you.
Bye.
Later.
Adam Ortiz says, let's talk about how everyone should learn flatland fundamentals. That is true.
I honestly feel like kids skip the basics and go to what they see. Do you know how many kids can't do an ice pick on a quarter?
Or a double peg on a quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But they can truck driver.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing. I don't want to spoil a video that's coming somewhat relatively soon because I did an interview with Dave Norrie, Trevor, and then Kim from Chicago, who's a lady flatlander, just talking about flatland in general. And I came to the conclusion that, like, I think a lot of people would benefit from just trying to ride a little bit of flatland.
Yeah, that's why I have a flatland bike and I don't show any you guys anything, and that's what I sit and practice on for hours.
And it's
And I
making
can't
you,
do
I
anything.
guarantee that it's making you better at riding too, isn't it?
No, because what I end up doing is I'll work on a trick for an hour and then I'll just go right back to doing what I know how to do. But it makes me, what I like about BMX, certain aspects of BMX, I by all means am not the best bike rider in the world. And I'm not trying to say I'm great, but I know what I'm good at. And when I do something I don't know how to do and I suck at it, that's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah.
But then frustration kicks in and you want to go back to being like, oh, I could ride.
Yeah, that's the
So
hardest part for someone who's like
that's
far into
flatland's lonely
BMX.
though. That's my hardest part with flatland is I feel lonely because you're
Yeah.
in a tennis court or a parking lot.
Well, do it at a skate park. I know it's
I
hard.
don't. There's no skate parks here.
Well, I mean, that's just what I'm saying. Like, in the session with people, like, do some flatland. I know you can't, it's hard to have both bikes.
Every time me and you hang out, and Jeff Mead shows up and Catfish shows up, it's always flatland with us. I don't even know what you're talking about. Half the time, the tricks that we're doing we're not even on our bikes, but we're riding a bike somehow. I watched that live feed of us when we rode at Ray's. 90% of those tricks you can't even name because we were doing so much dumb shit.
Yeah. Flatland 2 days a week for me. Got to keep on my toes. Video games and rap music, and that rap music, not just rap music, that
Hell yeah.
rap music is
Take it, Nate.
ruining BMX.
Yo, we got
funny.
41 people in here. You know what's so great about this is I like how people interact and they don't give up. Like sometimes somebody will just say like you'll go into certain people's conversations that are live and people don't interact with them, and then they'll say one thing and then they'll just look and then leave. I
Yeah.
love our audience because they'll fucking stay here. If we stayed on here for 5 hours, I guarantee you we could stay at 22 people for 5 hours. Easy.
Yep. Ooh, Andy Hewitt. This could be the first place I talk about this. I don't really want to yet, but I will. Does anyone have any experience in talking to your city about getting a skate park built? I'm trying to do that now. I have a town meeting the 29th. So I'm currently working on that right now. And all it took was talking to somebody who kind of has an in with the city, and from there the conversation could start. And I think that that's a good place to like try to find out who the people are in your city that are involved with the parks department. And
yeah, fucking right. That's how we got ours together.
yeah, and I was amazed at how quickly the conversation started.
Well, they have like there's like tax money. There's money that's there for it. It's just you gotta. With us, we hit up Tony Hawk, and then they hit up Pearl Jam, and those guys donated some money, and then the city just donated the land.
Yeah.
But it took 10 years to get the land. That was the hardest part.
Yeah,
was finding the location.
It's never going to be easy to actually do it, but getting the conversation started seems to be pretty easy to do.
Fuck, I should go to York Jam.
I'm
what
trying.
time?
I'm debating. There's
All
a
right,
jam.
well, if you go to York Jam, maybe I'll think about coming.
Well, there's another jam here that day, And I basically said, like, if there's a street spine there like there was last time, I'll heavily consider it.
Where, York?
Yeah.
All right, well, first and foremost, if you make it to the end of this video, because obviously I got to go put the kid to bed, I want to say anything talked inside of here is a discussion that opens up to make the mind, to make you guys think better, or to have you guys have something that opens a dialogue inside your brain instead of thinking the same thing you've done before. And I'm not here to badmouth any company. I'm not here to badmouth a person that makes a video. I know that it was set to one person. We could go through, I could think of 15 people that made videos in the last 2 weeks I'm fucking pissed at, but I'm not. So I want you guys to know, if you do make it to this part, and if you guys don't know me or Brad, I want you guys both to know that yes, because I work at another company doesn't make me biased. Like, I don't even, if people ask, how many people in here ask about merit? Yeah, sell me this, sell me that. I know that I'm capable of selling it because that's my job, but I want to sell BMX. So I don't try to put just where I work in here. I try to talk about bike shops and every other company. From Eastern, Stolen, Tree, you name it. I'm naming every other brand other than the brands that I work for and that I ride for, because I want to support them. But if you're new here, I want you guys to know that everything is neutral. It's an open dialogue. We're here to make BMX grow, and we're not here to shit talk. We're just here to try to find the truth or find reasoning. And like, we've been doing this, Brent, how long we've been having these shows?
Long time.
3 years? 4 years?
Long time.
Yeah. So like, and are they consistent? Like, what's the most we ever had on here? 52, 51? Whoop-de-doo, it doesn't matter. Do we have some new people? No. But what I do get is I get people that give me a call the next day and say, hey, I didn't like this, but majority of the time it's, I thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for talking about this. Oh, I didn't know about that. I appreciate that. So at the end of the day, that's what's important.
The bottom line is that both of us love BMX pretty much more than anything else in our lives, except our ladies, obviously. And we care about it. And when we see something that feels like it's not in the best interest of BMX, it makes us want to talk about it. Or we see something that is awesome, that is amazing for BMX, we want to talk about it. That's the bottom line with these type of things. And in my point of view, there's a lot of things in BMX that up until recently just weren't talked about. They weren't, like, you weren't allowed to talk about certain things. And this show, this channel, and whatever has become a place to talk about those things and hopefully have an impact to make more of the good things and try to help change some of the bad things, like the conversation about prices and things of that nature. Like, at the end of the day, we just care about BMX, and that's the only reason we get so fired up about things.
I could sit here all day long and we could talk about tricks and our favorite riders, but I feel like you could go to every goddamn BMX podcast at 99 cents. Thanks, bro. You could go to you can go to other people's things and you can just have those ones. I want to have actual conversations that have teeth to them. Like, there's onion, you know what I mean? There's layers in an onion, and I feel like those conversations don't get spoken enough.
Yeah.
And I don't know everything. I can't say that just because I work somewhere I know everything and I'm the greatest person ever. I'm not. I learn something new every single day. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
And the great part about working with Bran is he's not fucking sponsored and he's doing his own thing, and he doesn't have advertisements that are forcing him to feel, talk, or do anything. So he's an open book.
I want to address that part because, yes, I actually am sponsored. It's just not in the way he's talking about. He's talking about being your words being bought. And that's not something that'll ever happen on this YouTube channel. I could have somebody paying me in advertising right now, and if they do something that we feel should be talked about and is we don't agree with, we're going to talk about it. Like, I'm never going to lose my integrity based on anything else. And that's part of the YouTube channel as well. Like, it I'm never going to be bought and sold like that. And that's the whole entire point, is to talk about things in a way that I try to be reasonable, try to think about things from both perspectives, and that's the ultimate goal. Is if you're thinking about something from one perspective, I'm going to try and get you to think about it from the other perspective.
Right. And then there's things that you don't even understand, or you didn't even realize that there's this going on, or there's that's going on. I mean, we could sit here all day long and we could talk about riders, and we know that.
And we do sometimes. It's just, it's not all we do. Dead Crow said, how much we talking, Brant? Let's talk. Here's the thing. I'm totally open to like channel sponsorship like that. Like, I've got nothing against it whatsoever. And if, like, I'll put Dead Crow Army's logo in our live stream. I'm okay with that. And I'll also, if Dead Crow Army does something that is not in the best interest of BMX, I'm going to talk about it while their logo's on the screen. And I'm only going to work with companies who understand that. It's pretty simple. Got to sell out to eat out.
I feel like we're not the biggest people in BMX, but the audiences that we pull and the amount of people that we have that listen, like bike shops listen, and they are the bloodline to bikes. I say it constantly. I'm going to say it and repeat it all the time. If you hear something new from me, be surprised, because the majority of the time I say the same thing just in a different way, and I add more to it because I learn more from it. Yeah. But I get people calling me and texting me. Bike owners are my favorite ones that listen to me and Brant, and they either say to me, "You cocksucker," or they say, "All right, I wasn't thinking about that," or I get in trouble. But I'm willing to get in trouble. I'm being very honest with you guys. And at the end of the day, I'm doing it because I love BMX and I want BMX to grow. And if I have a voice, I'm going to make an opinion and I'm going to say it. And if I get in trouble, I get in trouble. But at least I'm doing what I feel is right. And that's why I like working with Brant. Because, you know, like, Brant's got to put my YouTube in there so I can grow my YouTube a little bit. But, you know, Brant's
you got to at least post once every 6 months.
Hey!
I'm just saying. All right, I would love.
Anyway, guys, Jason, So Be It Customs, Adam, DFJ, Caden, Serge, Dead Crow, Andy, Old Fat fucking BMX Guy, Love Machine, Eddie Fiera, Slurpee. There's like 37. Sean, JDA. Thanks all you guys for always supporting us. There's so many names in here that I see every single time. I appreciate you guys. I literally got to get going because it's already 9:38 here. Brant, your hair's getting long. Get a haircut. You look like a hippie. I love all you guys. Just remember this one thing. I'm an asshole. Good night.
Good night, Ricky. Oh, that's funny. I think he hung up. All right. I want to say thank you to everybody who's in here right now. This is getting whack. Let's talk about something else, please. It is what it is, man. Sometimes it gets whack. What, you said 5 hours? We'll have to plan. What if we plan? Well, that's sick. I'm confused. I think I'm here. Either way, thank you to everybody who's in here. And I gotta thank the super chats. We got Kier Kurinsky, as always. Sean Garrison, 20 Grip, JDA, Adam Ortiz. Thank the members of the channel. I don't know if anybody knows about it, but there's a join button. I honestly should do more for the people who are members, but they just want to support. And I appreciate that. Sweet, I'm still here. And I'm not going to talk about the RNC crank situation further. I don't want to have a conversation with anyone about it because I don't feel that it's necessary, and I'm done with that situation. It's fixed. It's moving forward. Hopefully it doesn't hurt RNC too much. I've said how I feel about it, and that's all that I care to say about it. That being said, I'm really happy that this YouTube channel is getting to a place where we got 33 people in here and we can talk about these things and just talk in general about BMX and potentially have a real effect on it, because that's what I really want to do. Where do I go to join? It's just underneath, like beside the subscribe, where the subscribe button would be. It just says join. There's like 4 different members. And for real though, find someone to anodize your cranks. If I wanted them anodized, I could have had them before I got them. I like the polished look on my bike with the polished parts I have. Stony, I didn't ride the wall. I looked at the wall and I said, no. But for real though, the community that is revolving around this YouTube channel and the people who choose to hang out here are awesome people. Every single person in the chat is an awesome person to talk to. We don't agree on everything, but we're never going to agree on everything, and we shouldn't agree on everything. And what did you end up thinking of the new tires you were trying on your new build? I didn't try it. Well, I guess I tried a folding tire in the front, and it's good so far. Always keeping it real, Bran, never change. I won't ever change, and that's the thing. I'm always going to keep everyone's interest in mind. Like, there's a current situation. How much do we need to raise to get you to shave your head? 10 million subscribers. I'm never going to change. It's never going to happen. I'm always keeping both sides' interest. There's literally a situation right now that I could have made the exact same type of video that was made saying, do not buy this, but I'm giving the other people the benefit of the doubt and trying to get this situations resolved. I'm this close to making that video finally, because it's come to a point where the actual consumer is not in interest in the situation, and it's just not okay. Oh my God, Bald Brant, 10 million subscribers and we'll go shave our head. Maybe 1 million. What if we said 1 million? Maybe I'll lower it to 1 million. We're only 970,000 or 69,000 away. But it's just one of those things where I'm never going to sell out. I'm never going to not keep everyone's interest in mind. I'm never going to not try and do the right thing for people ever. I think don't change. And I'm trying to sort out Old Man Weekend at Woodward if we want to finish our game of bike. Damn, when is that? When is that, Geoff? Goaf? Circle of Death. Yeah, that wall was legitimately insane. Standing at the bottom of it and looking up was like, oh my God. You got... I mean, non-racing BMX has a lot of people doing it, and yet most of the media associated was just embarrassing in the wrong way. S&M TV is embarrassing in the right way. Your channel is growing, though. Stoked for you. I'm doing my best, man. 1 million is fair. It's only hair. It will grow back. I'm confident in saying 1 million, because if it ever happens, I'll be super happy. How many subs for a bald head with a green helmet tattoo? Oh, Jesus Christ. Never. I'm not tattooing my head. It would take 50 million. I'm stoked with where things is at. Crumlish is a genius. He's the most brilliant freak in your scene. I love what S&M is doing, and I wish we would have talked more about S&M's Factory Friday, I think is what it's called, because that is a perfect example of what I'm talking about with the transparency. And I hope I had something to do with that channel from time to time, from what I hear. and I'm just stoked on how they're talking about and showing what's actually going on in there. They're talking about the things that people should know about, at least in my opinion. I don't think that people should know everything, obviously, but I do think that people have a right to know like what's going on to a certain extent. Adam, I do not have any tattoos. I'm not against tattoos. I'll be honest, I try and save my money as best I can, and tattoos are expensive, so I just can't justify it in my head to be like, okay, I'm going to spend all this money and get a tattoo. Factory Friday is a mad vibe. It really is, and it's really cool, and I think it's something that the industry needed, and there's more of that would be great. If he still has that Beeb hair when I'm 90, I'll be absurdly happy. I don't know how old I'll be when you're 90, but I think an old me with long hair would be funny. Gray long hair. Imagine gray long hair, but yeah. Oh, man. Anything else we should talk about while there's still 30 people in here? I'm 41, no tats. Yeah, I'm nothing against tattoos. I think they're sick sometimes. It's just I want to have a good reason to spend that it would take to have like a really good, sick tattoo. Because I do think it would be cool to have like a really awesome one. Everyone needs to like the video. So I learned that when you tell people to like the video, they actually do like the video. Dead Crow. We could talk about what I do for a living because I'm okay with talking about it. But first I gotta answer, can you grow a beard? I can grow a beard, but I hate it. I hate it because it's so itchy. I just hate it. I hate it with a passion. But as far as what I do for a living, first of all, I have this YouTube channel where I post a video every single day, and I'm slowly coming to terms with the fact that that is like considered a job. Jeez, I keep getting knocked out. So I work at part-time at a small farm tractor manufacturing company as their like video media guy. I'm in charge of their YouTube channel, and we make videos every week. And that's what I do Tuesday through Thursday since the thing hit. I started working from home, and we figured out that it worked. So I work from home, and I go in and go wherever we need to video when we do. And then I used to, but I haven't in several months now, I used to do Photoshop work for a women's clothing store in Cleveland. But I haven't done that in a while. Dead Crow, did you hear any of what I described? Okay, for everyone in the chat, where did my what I do for a living conversation end? I can talk about who it is. It's Tillmore Products. They don't have a giant YouTube channel, but the company there's some really awesome people who own it and run it and that I work with. They're just the kind of people who will ask you if it sounds okay for you to do your own job. Video for a ladies store. Photoshop for the lady. Okay, so you didn't hear anything about the small farm tractor company? Okay, so we were pretty much good there. Yeah, I make videos for them. So we make videos on like how to like, the video that's going to come out this week is a video where they took a product to a vineyard at a local school, and they were cultivating, which cultivation basically means weed control. They're cultivating that. That's the video that's coming out this Friday, but last week we did a video. Just kidding, not last week. I finished editing a video today on the assembly of one of their products. A lot of different stuff. We do a couple different live streams. That's rad. I sell concrete equipment. That's interesting. But yeah, I work for this company because of the fact that it's such a long freaking question thing. Okay, guys, before you can say what you do for a living, but the next live stream I do, maybe I'll do it Thursday night. We can talk about what we do for a living. I think that would be really, really fun. But I don't even remember where I was gonna go. I think that would be really fun. I don't want to know what everyone does yet. Dang it. I think this is a really, really cool conversation. We're going to have this conversation Thursday night, maybe 9 p.m. so that I can hang out with Victoria before she goes to bed. Yeah, I love that idea. We're going to do that. I design trusses. Yeah, we're going to wait. Nobody else say what you do for a living or go in depth with it because I think this will be really, really cool. Other hobbies besides BMX. Fishing and hunting. Thursday's ride night, 9 p.m. Jay, it'll be 9 p.m. Eastern. Dead Crow Army doesn't pay my bills. Yeah, YouTube doesn't pay my bills either. But we're both trying to get there, right? Fishing and hunting are my main things that I do outside of BMX. Fishing is like, I'm kind of obsessed. Don't do it as much as I would like to, but that's because I'm riding. I just got off the phone today before I started live stream. I'm going fishing on Monday. Hey Brant, did you get your girl to dye her hair to match your helmet? Nope. She's had blue hair for years now, lots of different colors, and kind of just found that blue and that color just likes it and it sticks around the most. Are you a Browns fan? I don't really care about sports at all. I'm staring at the wrong camera. I'm looking at my webcam I use for the live chat with Ricky. Oops. Never caught a fish or rode a motorcycle. Interesting. Dead Crow putting me in debt. Well then, don't worry about trying to sponsor the YouTube channel or anything, man. Put that money towards Dead Crow. I guess that would be putting it towards Dead Crow, but still, everyone here is awesome. I think it would be really cool. Thursday night, I think we're gonna do the live stream where we just talk about what we do for a living. Fishing was really good this spring/summer. Yeah, I have filmed a couple really awesome videos. No, dead crows can't die. I actually have an outdoor YouTube channel that I posted to for a little bit and then kind of fell off of it, but I have like 15 videos filmed that I just need to edit. And since I do the news live now on Fridays, I have so much more free time on Fridays that I started editing those videos again. I'm going to mow my lawn. Thanks for having me. Want to leave something for you all. A bad attitude is like a flat tire. You're not going anywhere until you change it. Boom. When is Brant's big ass BMX jam? That's funny. Stony, we had it for my birthday this year, the trail jam. How long do you travel to go fishing? It depends on where I'm going. Like where we go, mainly in those videos that you've seen, is Thursday I have dinner with my kiddo. Hopefully I can make it. If it's 9 p.m. Eastern that I'm going to go live Thursday. It's like an hour's drive and then like 45 minutes walk through the woods, up and down hills and gnarliness to get to where we fish at. My buddy makes duck calls. Nice. I'm in Chicago. Would you build a race bike and hit the track? If I was ever going to hit the track, I would just use my bike that I ride at the trails. I don't really need a race bike. I would feel bad because like the companies that support me, like the bike shops that I ride for, would want to help out with that. And I would feel bad getting a race bike that I wouldn't ever really ride. 650 foot to my kayak. I have one of those, but I hate using it. It's such a pain in the ass, honestly. Alright, my dudes, I gotta run. My kiddo has COVID and it's time for meds. Thanks for hanging out, Dead Crow. Always a pleasure. Is your blue bike your exclusive trail bike? No gyros on the track, bro. Too damn bad. Yeah, that's my trails bike now, and I'm going to change some stuff out this winter probably for trails stuff. We'll see. I've got plans. I've got more plans than I have time to make videos, which is a good thing. So, mine has an anchor and a rod holder. Yeah. I got an anchor that I built, an anchor setup that I built for mine too, using a retractable clothesline piece that I replaced the clothesline with paracord. That's pretty sweet. I just hate using my kayak because it's such a pain even with the anchor. I'm used to fishing from the bank where I'm not moving and I like it. Would you build a flatland bike? No, I'd probably just use my normal bike for flatland. I know it's not as easy, but I would have to be at a certain level with flatland to even consider wanting to build another bike for it. But I think now, guys, it's almost been 2 hours. I'm going to jump off here, and we'll be back on Thursday. We're going to talk about what we do for a living Thursday. Everyone in the chat. We're just going to go through everybody, and I think it's going to be really, really fun. Thank you to everyone who's in here, everyone who super chatted tonight, all of the members of the channel, 20 Grips in here, JDA's in here. I'm not sure if there was any others earlier that I might have missed, but thank you all. You're literally helping make like my dreams of just BMX being my entire life come true, and it's amazing. And I'm glad that I can help make this community that you guys want to help stick around and support like that. So we'll see you guys Thursday night, 9 p.m.